Volkswagen's had a number of quality issues over the last few years in particular. They've been pretty well documented by respected outlets such as JD Power in the US, which looks at all these sorts of quality concerns. One of the biggest one is revolving the DSG transmission, or their automatic transmission, which introduced some new technology to the market. It's used on a range of their vehicles, obviously from the popular ones such as the Golf and the Passat, the Polo, through to smaller selling ones such as the EOS and the Tiguan. So it's a very widely used transmission, and they seem to be having some issues with them failing. When they do fail, the repair can be quite expensive. We've heard up to $8,000 to repair those transmissions. So this DSG transmission has been the subject of a number of recalls overseas, the two biggest of which have been in China, where 400,000 cars were recalled. Volkswagen isolated that and said those transmissions were actually produced in China, and it was a problem just with that batch. But since then, they've also recalled 91,000 cars in Japan. Now, those cars from Japan, they won't actually clarify where those transmissions are from. But they said even if they are out of Europe, which is where the Australian transmissions come from, that still won't necessarily lead to a recall here, because the recall was apparently done because Japan has a hot and humid climate and also a lot of stop-start driving, so it's putting the transmission under different strains. Volkswagen's also had some issues with the diesel engines, particularly the injectors in those engines, which have been failing, then leading to a loss of power and in some cases the engine stopping. So they've been addressing those issues, but clearly there are some cars out there that still have them. They haven't done a safety recall on those. They've been doing what they call a service campaign, which is when the car comes back in for service, they go and fix it. There are certainly a lot of Volkswagen owners and drivers who are very, very frustrated and angry that they think Volkswagen hasn't done enough to address issues with quality, particularly that transmission quality. So yeah, they're actually going out there on chat sites, on chat rooms, on comments on Fairfax articles and so on, and there's a lot of heat in their replies. We haven't actually been able to publish some of them because there are a lot of very angry people there.